Ooh, I found it.
Hello and welcome. Chris, what'd you find?
Wait, did I find it? Dang it. Maybe
Chris just discovered something on camera, live. What? Give me a hint. Don't tease me. You know I'm sensitive.
I was talking about the second half of my the last Airbender Facebook review, just in my Facebook status.
I'm glad you found it, and I'm excited for you to be able to share that with people. It is quite amusing, in my opinion. I'm looking forward to the second half. I haven't gotten to see part 2. Kind of fresh for me right now, so that's exciting. Chris, welcome to Avatar: The Last Podcasters. You know, I don't know why I'm welcoming you, but you're always welcome here, as are you listeners and or watchers. We appreciate you being here. Today we're going to talk about, there's a couple of things I'll refer to as like a smattering of light news, and we kind of needed an excuse for a light episode. So we are going to react to and summarize our feelings for some recent Avatar news. And yeah, but before we get to that, Chris, how was your week? How are you surviving
fine.
the cold?
Just watch the I'm a Boss video by Andy Samberg, and that's how my week was.
Did you sing the song too, or are you just like inner monologue?
You know what I realized? The big part of being a boss. That sounded very being a manager. that sounded so stuck up. I have one employee under me right now.
It sort of sounded more like you're about to launch into like a mediocre comedy bit.
Yeah, you know the thing about being a boss.
Yeah.
But I take time out of my day to go say hi to people. Like, I'm like, all right, because like my schedule is I come in, I go straight to the cafeteria, I get something to eat, I take it to my desk, I eat it, and then if I have a meeting or something, once I'm done with that, then I'm like, all right, it's 9:00, it's 9:30. Let me go around and say hi to everybody. Chris Ford, not that long ago, wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. Especially Chris Ford and Payless wasn't like, all right, I gotta go say hi to everybody. But now I was like, let me go check in with everybody, how you talk to them and stuff for a little bit. I have gotten so much better at small talk since, especially being an introvert. It's probably one of my greatest accomplishments as an introvert is that I'm much better at small talk.
You're an inspiration to us all.
Oh no, Shawn, you're not. You're not an introvert in that case. I feel like you are very. I wouldn't say very talkative, but you're
I enjoy chatting.
I don't know if I ever. Are you just one of those people who likes to claim they're a little bit of both?
No, I think. Well, gosh, maybe I am one of those. I didn't think of. I'm not an introvert in my unwillingness to spend time and discuss and chat and do stuff with people. I just happen to like home a lot. Right? I don't have to be doing stuff to be happy. But if I can do it, like I said, interacting with people. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I'm too much of an introvert. I enjoy sitting in my basement.
Me, very much introvert. Love it. Love being by myself. Love just recharging. And yeah.
This basement is this room is it's the stupidest room in the house, and yet I'm pretty comfy here. I don't have to work hard to find ways to entertain myself. But that being said, Chris, let's talk about some. Again, it's not that it's not news, just kind of soft news. Let's talk about some soft news this week.
Slow jam the news.
Slow jam the news. If I knew how to slow jam, I would try my best.
Oh man, I started the last episode with Genuine, and then we actually pulled it. It was a great callback and everything. Can't even do it naturally anymore.
When we have these issues and we have to re-record, it makes me think of the Tenacious D tribute song. Like you gotta believe us. It was really funny. It made sense. You just had to be there. It was good. Anyway, we talked about Chris's love of Genuine and a song of which I can't remember the name because I'm not familiar with the song off the top of my head.
So Anxious,
which is inappropriate for a child. But listen, music evokes feelings outside of lyrics, and everybody absorbs art differently. Chris, that's me trying really hard to segue into this conversation about movie posters, not movie posters, posters that you and I probably already overanalyzed once, but I enjoyed it and I thought it was very thoughtful.
Uh, yes, movie posters. Let's get back to that. Um, they recently released four new posters of kind of the four main members. We'll talk about the first one that drew my attention, which was of Katara. I mentioned before that I think this the casting. Now it's not gonna feel as genuine as
Ha! See what you did
because I'm
there.
about to say exactly what, anyway. Um, the I'm about to go through a little rant that I went through last time. The casting of Katara in the show is my favorite casting of the main cast. But the best casting is Dan Day Kim as Fire Lord Ozai, and whoever thought of that first ever as a genius. Whoever put that on like their YouTube channel, the Objective Geek, put it actually in the video that they should hire cast Dan Day Kim. Probably a great, great, beautiful mind type of person. Well, not beautiful mind. 'Cause that person was he autistic? I am not.
He had
Oh,
hallucinations. I don't know if it's autism. He had very
oh yeah,
severe
yeah. He, he was
hallucinations.
he was he was schizophrenic.
Thank you. Couldn't think of the name of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
well, and
Yeah.
then you went into a
Schizophrenia is
long
weird.
diatribe about how, like, if you listen to something on NPR radio and they always introduce it with this nice soft voice, and so how in
Yes. Oh
20 or
man,
30
yeah, we used
years,
all of that. That was
I
good
know that's
stuff
good.
there.
So
All of that.
you brought up like hip hop, and in my head I was thinking of
Yeah.
like,
So the whole reason why that started is that when the episode started, sometimes I'm just in my own world singing a song. I was singing "So Anxious," and then Sean, of course, didn't know what it was, but I was just singing. And then you came in with a very NPR type of style, like, and there is Chris Ford with his
I believe I said the
smooth,
cool stylings of Chris Ford.
yeah, cool stylings, Chris Ford. And then I talked about there's this lady on Instagram who does like if NPR was in the like 2099. And also she said like it's like post-apocalyptic for some reason.
Just it's like
Like
a improv comedy. She needed one more thing.
yeah, as though like it would like the song would play out. It'd be like move, bitch, get out the way, get out. And then she's like, and that was "Move, Bitch" by the rapper known as Ludacris. And the song was about if there is a bitch in your way, you simply tell them to move, or you will throw them bows. Accompanying Ludacris was the rapper Mystical and I-20. Um, and it was very much of that NPR style of like, all right, in 2099, this is how they'll be playing their songs.
I hope that's how we take in art. I pray that's how we take in art in 2099.
Yeah.
Chris, I love the guitar poster. I like the casting. I think it is my favorite poster, and I am going to distinguish favorite from best in this case. I think it is my favorite poster. I
Oh, I
really
think that's good.
I really like how the water looks. Water's hard to get right on stuff. I
It
like how the
is.
water looks. I think she could maybe
Yeah.
be a hair more fierce, but you brought this up last time, and I hadn't thought of it yet, but it makes a lot of sense to me. This is the pose that it makes sense to me to see Katara in. And then I love the sun in the background, kind of shining through the water left to right. It makes me kind of look at the poster from left
Yeah.
to right, and it's very attractive. I think it's my favorite of the four.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also point out that for some reason this is like our best look at her hair loop piece, and you can like see the intimate details of her braids, which I just think that's cool. Hair loopies are like an actual thing that I think some Inuit cultures actually do. That's not just something Mike and Brian just came up with.
Yeah, no, I believe
We
so.
also see her grand's betrothal necklace. It looks pretty good too. I think this costume is a great mixture of details where it's needed and where it's not needed, and she looks really good.
Agreed.
I I would say that I love this poster, but this is only my second favorite poster. And I think it's the second best poster.
Fair enough. Chris, last time I think we jumped from a good one to a bad one. Would you like to replicate that order?
Yes, next one up. Sokka. Just just one.
This
It's not a good composition. It's not a good stance. It's just also his head looks like they increased it by about 15%. Um,
we
but that's
we liked the simplicity of the outfit. We liked the backdrop. Uh, some of the leather feels maybe a hair overdone, or maybe
yeah. I like
not
the
terribly.
boots though. I didn't talk about that last time. I
No,
actually like the boots.
I like the boots. I don't know if I like all of his gauntlets and mid straps and things.
No, I don't. I don't like the gauntlets or the mid
His
thing.
his
The thing is, the
cummerbund.
boots are a little bit more. The boots are a little more simplistic. It's like, all right, we got. I see the buttons that go on there.
Well,
That's how.
it
But
feels
then,
kind of handmade in a way that I would
yeah.
want to see. But I
But then
also
the gauntlets just lose it.
I think they could have just gone without a Sokka image probably and been just fine. And
No, Sean.
I know
You
it's a
were
small thing,
chocolate.
but it bothers me when it says master your element and it's Sokka. It's almost like they're teasing him. I know somebody's gonna say something really deep about like him mastering
I was
his
about to,
element is not having an element or something. I get it. It's fine. Minor nitpick. Also, yeah, his head looks pretty pretty big for some reason.
yeah.
Oh well.
All right. Yeah, I'm just okay on it. It's actually it's just whatever. Next up, we'll end on a high note. So next up is not that this isn't like a. Oh, next up is Megamind.
It's
Um,
Megamind. It is Megamind.
and no, what I want to say the man, I forgot his name. Fournier, I think. Anyway, uh, all the images, all the like actual real life still images in motion stuff, his head doesn't look this big.
Nope.
But for
Not
some
once.
reason, from about the eyebrows up, it looks like they increased it
To
by so much.
accentuate the arrow or something. Uh, it looks shoddy, right? Like it looks not professional, or like a fake. Like if somebody's putting out fake pictures that they put together in Photoshop, it gives me that vibe. Also, the
Yeah.
I do like his outfit. I think his outfit looks pretty well constructed. We've discussed before.
Yeah.
We liked the actor choice. Not the most interesting background, especially for a kid who I don't know. He's an airbender. He could be almost anywhere. Not the most interesting backdrop, but that's a minor. That's me being very nitpicky.
Yeah.
Staff doesn't look like much. I can't really glean much from the
Oh, I did
staff.
see it. I did see an image a couple weeks ago, and it showed like a little bit more detail on the staff, and it looks pretty cool because it has like the symbol for the air nomads on it and stuff. Oh, Sean, you know what we didn't talk about that I shared uh I think on our Facebook page. Anyway, I believe we got our first look at Avatar Yang Chen, and I don't know. One thing I just love with Yang Chen, and so this just looks like Yang Chen. I can't. Well, I guess I could send it to you somehow. La-di-da. Anyway, we can go on to the next image while I send this to you.
And the last image, yeah, which we were both very fond of, and that is Zuko. It
Yes,
it's
yes, and
immediately eye catching in the best possible way, right? You're seeing a villainous looking character, but he's a young guy, but he's clearly looking villainous. If you know Avatar, it's very eye catching. If you don't know Avatar, I feel like it would pique some amount of curiosity if you came across it. Good outfit. We at least so far have enjoyed what we've seen of the actor in pictures. It's a
yep,
it's great. It's just a great image, great looking picture.
yeah, this is a really great image here. This is definitely the best one from this bunch. This is probably the most like intimidating Zuko has looked in anything, and like not even the intimidating way of like he's angry, but like oh he looks like he could
He
cause.
looks like a
Looks
fearsome
like he's
foe.
a force. Yeah, yes, first and foe. It also helps that I think this is very indicative of the character in season one of Zuko. That's like he's willing to burn down anything to reach his goal of capturing the Avatar and regaining his honor. Really great image, and I also got into just the composition of it. I think it's a great composition. Things are very triangular. Your eyes are following things in a kind of triangular
Your
manner.
eyes want to
Um,
move places; they don't get stuck.
yeah.
It is like, and we talked about it being a like a movie poster outside of a theater. This one would make me stop and look. It looks like the type
Yes.
of thing I would be that would pique my curiosity and make me wonder what it was if I didn't already know.
Yeah, definitely. These posters are better than the M Night Shyamalan movie posters.
Those M Night Shyamalan ones, we liked the back to back one best of that group,
Hmm.
but it still lacks like the pop. It lacks
Yeah,
the sort of major attention grabbiness of this one in particular.
yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Like, man, yeah, this is a really good image of Zuko. It really is.
uh,
And even the Aang one, like if say if they like superimpose Aang and Zuko somehow on the same image, I think it will still make for a what they could do is never mind. Have Aang his back, like say you have this image of Zuko, right? And then you have Aang his back to back to him, right? But then there's fire in the background, and then you switch that over where you see Aang's face and you see Zuko with his back to him, and then you see whatever is in Aang's background. So you probably see like the air and stuff. It's, I don't know, it's a
so like
dichotomy kind of
Pokemon
thing.
Red and Blue, but of movie posters.
Sure.
No, I think that's awesome. Especially after you saw the second poster, you'd have to kind of catch 22 or not. I keep saying that, and that doesn't mean what I think it means. Like that double take, like this is familiar, but it's not. And then hopefully that would make your brain work and be like, oh, that other one from over there, that seems interesting. Chris, I'd stare at that poster. But hey, no, these good looking images overall. No major qualms, just nitpicks, really. But continued positive things, in my opinion, from the Netflix series.
Yeah, yeah, continue positive things. Speaking of Netflix series, Albert Kim had a recent interview in an actual magazine. Like, who does that? He talked about the show a little bit. He talked about how they'll be touching on things that they didn't touch on in the show, in the animated show, and they'll show them like the Airbender genocide. Also, they said that Zula will be more prominent in the first season than she was. Like, there'll be actual story points with her in the first season. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
I think it'll be great to have her, and I wonder if it'll affect how we feel about her and Zuko's relationship in the early going, if they'll have interactions or if it'll still be a separated. I'm going to guess it's still going to be a separated thing so that we don't have to come into that conflict of feeling bad for Zuko too early. I think they'll still be
Yeah,
kept
that's a good
apart.
point.
But, right, because we don't want to
Yeah,
start sympathizing with him too soon, do we? He needs to be our immediate big bad,
yeah.
our stage boss. Yeah, but that's good. The what else? What are we missing before the interview itself? Before the Bryke interview?
Oh, we went over my Facebook feelings
Mm.
13
If you
years
care to
ago.
share, I found them very engaging.
Somewhat embarrassed. So, because we were looking at the images of the M Night Shyamalan posters, and I just flashed back to just I was so hyped for this movie, like so hyped, and I was in denial after it came out, shortly after it came out. So even though my review is how I felt coming out of the movie, actually let me read a couple of different things, a couple of different posts. Um, on Facebook that I had that leading up to the movie. Uh, so on January 28th, 2010, I wrote the movie Avatar was good, but it is predictable and overrated. It also took the title from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I was talking about the I was talking about the Blue People movie Avatar. Um, then on then on let's see, June 13th, I wrote. Wait, what? What the heck does that have to do with anything? Wait, what? You couldn't watch it with your American friends? Does that have to do with anything? That's so weird. Oh, anyway, on June 24th, I wrote the real Avatar movie, The Last Airbender, comes out in a week. Is it sad that I'm a 22-year-old college graduate who can't wait for a movie to come out that's based off a cartoon? Maybe. Man, I was like I think that was a point in time where I wasn't fully into accepting or I wasn't fully into showing my love of cartoons. But anyway.
I think
Uh
when we read it the first time, I
oh
think
I
it.
got oh those are lead ups. I'm now reading lead ups into it. That was from I haven't gotten to the actual post yet. Uh then 'cause I posted a few things on Facebook like leading up to it, so just putting in reference how excited I was about the movie. July 21st. Okay, so the last Airbender, sons of my friend Larry Flurry. Um, oh, this was the next post. Okay, sorry, Shawn. Now I'm seeing. Okay, here's my review of of the last Airbender. This is my overall review. The movie was okay. I felt that I loved everything about the movie except the movie, which is a big deal. That's in parentheses. I love the cast. That was strange for me to say. That's me hugely being in denial. Sean, are you on mute?
Nope. I hope not.
Okay,
Let me do a mic
you're just
check.
very quiet. I can
Let me
hear you
do a
now.
volume check. I
Mhm.
put myself on
Um,
mute because my wife keeps sneaking in and
yeah,
out of here to grab stuff.
no, you're fine there.
I'm afraid,
Okay,
yeah.
I said
But nope.
I felt that I loved everything about the movie except the movie, which is a big deal. Parentheses. I loved the cast except Sokka. I felt he was too old to be best friends with Aang. I like the look of it all, which that's fairly accurate. I still like a lot of the looks of the movie.
That was one of
Um,
the few nice things we conjured up to say.
yeah. Then I said, and I like the music, which I also said, Jason Howard did the music for it. He also did the music for Batman Begins. And I think I still enjoy watching the trailers more than the movie. That is not a good indictment on the movie. If you enjoy watching the trailers more than the movie itself, it doesn't say a lot good about the movie. Then I'm going to rephrase how the second. Then I said, Moon Knight, inside joke. Moon Knight is an inside joke from Scrubs, where the janitor was talking to JD and they were talking. And he was like, I was talking to M. Night Shyamalan the other day, and he's my best friend. And then JD was like, I think it's pronounced M Night Shyamalan. He was like, no, he pronounces it M. That's how you pronounce it. It's M. M Night Shyamalan. And we were bowling. And I said, hey M, you got two problems here. First is that 7/10 split you got going over there because they're bowling. The second is trying to write a movie without some twist ending at the end. Oh, but
Fun full circle tie here, right?
uh,
Scrubs has the actress that then plays the FBI agent that confiscates the DVD from Abed.
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you taught me that, Chris.
Uh, for some reason, I was cracking up telling this story in the last one. The last
No,
one.
it's adorable.
Anyway,
Also, in the last
uh,
one, though, listen, I was too busy being emotional because you referred to me as your other white best friend, and I'm not going to add any context to that for people. I'm going to let them interpret what 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 he means with that combination of words. I'm not going to give any context. They just have to guess which way he meant it.
I think I said you were my updated. No, I didn't say that. I was
No,
just
you said Larry Flurry, or however you say his last. Sorry,
blurry. Yeah,
Larry.
yeah, my college roommate.
He was my other white
Uh,
best friend.
yeah,
You did say, well, I wasn't going to tell the audience. You did say before, Shawn, which implies a linear rather than that you only have two white friends currently. Listen, you live in Kansas. You need, if you don't have more than two white friends, I don't know.
I have other white friends. It's just best friends. Yeah.
Listen, I was all emotionally, so I was trying to hold together, and I lost track of what you're talking about forever. Several
Anyway,
seconds.
I go on to say, Moon Knight did a terrible job at writing. There was no relationships built between any of the characters. I felt that none of them were friends, just co-workers. The pace was pretty quick, even though not much was happening. I felt that Moon Knight focused too much on the Northern Water Tribe and not enough on the journey getting there. I keep going with this Moon Knight thing. I'm constant with it. There were a lot of cheesy parts with Sokka. The acting was bad, but I blame bad acting on the director. I did like Iroh. He was a gangster. I liked that he stuck to the story fairly well. Little changes, but nothing big. Continued in next post. And that next post was
The previously
July
missing link.
21st. That's weird. Okay, so I wrote, okay, so this Airbender wasn't that good. This this is me like 10 days apart, apparently. Says,
You
okay,
had some
so the
time
last
to sit
Airbender
and think
wasn't.
about what you had said.
Yeah. I started off with it was okay to wasn't that good. Okay, so the last Airbender wasn't that good, but just as Zuko says in episode 315, The Boiling Rock Part 2, there is a silver sandwich. There will be a new series titled Avatar: The Legend of Korra that comes out in 2011. Hopefully, that will get your mind away from the movie. Man, look at
Okay.
me looking forward to Legend of Korra.
Okay.
That was silver sandwich, and I
Listen,
do love Legend of Korra. It's not like one of those things that
I think that the way that we absorb art, that everybody absorbs art, is different. And I know that I am one that my opinion today will change in 10 days. I think it's perfectly acceptable to 10 days later be like, you know what? Now I've had some time to breathe. I'm just going to look forward to Korra instead.
yeah.
I think that is valid and acceptable.
Oh well. Oh yeah. So then
Thanks
to
for
wrap
nothing,
up,
Midnight.
yeah, Midnight. Janitor.
You know what? Hot
Um,
take. I didn't even like The Sixth Sense that much. Like,
I love the Sixth Sense. It's good. I love the Sixth Sense. I love
anything where the
Unbreakable.
joy is not completely gone, but a lot of the joy is derived from a first watch and not subsequent watches. Like,
I love watching it subsequently, but I can understand. It is probably the biggest twist in movie history.
to that point, yeah. After that, I would want time to think about since then.
You know what? Have you seen Shawn? I'm sure I've told you about this. Crazy Stupid Love.
I haven't seen it, but this is one that you've referenced before, yeah?
I love Crazy Stupid Love. Did I tell you about the twist in it?
You did not. I think
Okay,
this is
never
one
mind. I
of
won't
those
tell you
times where
about.
you refuse to
Oh,
spoil it because you said I just need to go watch it, which is completely fair.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure I'd
yeah.
like it.
Watch
I'm
it
okay with a
whenever,
rom
please.
com sometimes.
Okay, I love it. It's my top 10 movies of all time.
Crazy Stupid Love or The Sixth Sense?
Cra- Crazy Stupid Love. You know what? The Sixth Sense. No, I wouldn't make the top 10, but it's great nonetheless.
Anyway, Chris, let's talk. Let's talk a break interview on the podcast.
Yes, Braving the Elements, Bright interview. Bright talked about chi fields. He was talking about how they were developing blood bending with the Mon, and how like blood bending isn't. You might think of it as like you're bending the water inside of an object. And I'm paraphrasing here, but it's like it's not like there's like a balloon and there's water in it. You're bending the water in the balloon. No, a person has a chi field that you have to penetrate to bend the water in their body. Um, uh, and so it's just an interesting concept. Like, this is probably one of the biggest revelations we've had regarding the power system in Avatar in years. And it's something that I've kind of always gathered, but was never, or that's something I always assumed, but it was never kind of confirmed.
It
But
was before it was
people
just head
have,
canon. Now it's kind of closer to canon.
yeah, it's close to canon. Not yeah, it's not canon yet, but it's the closest you'll get to canon without it being like
I I
in
tend to
something.
defer to, if a creator tells me to believe something, like, even if it's
Yeah,
not
as long
true,
as it
like, why
doesn't
would you
contradict
disbelieve the creator?
anything.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. As long as it doesn't contradict anything that's like written in the stone. Like he
If
can't be like, oh, Korra really only learned two elements. I'm like, well, no, the show, so she learned three to start off. That
yeah,
starts off the show with.
not right, not creators just trying to do things to, like, drum up or stir the pot or whatever. Which I never get that from Bryan and Mike. Like, they've given me no reason to distrust what they say.
Yeah,
It's canon to me. It's
yeah,
the one step short of canon where it's not literally on paper somewhere, as far as we know.
yeah. But this does, I think, explain a lot of things. Like, how can uh explains the Avatar state, and sometimes why it overpowers things. Like Aang needed the Avatar state to break Yakon's bloodbending. And so, like, you think about it, like, all right, Aang by himself doesn't have enough chi to prevent Yakon from bloodbending the chi within him. Um, he 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 had to use the Avatar state, and so, like, thinking about the Avatar state's chi comes from Rava. Um, like once you enter the Avatar state, you now have access to that vast, almost limitless amount of chi. So then that overrides the bloodbending of Amon, not Amon, of Yukon. But Korra, she didn't need the Avatar state to break Amon's bloodbending, who was a stronger bender than his father. And that's all we'll say on that, Shawn. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Korra's stronger than Aang.
It it at least merits discussion of if there's any impact had by Korra being water being her primary element. There's not a good comp, but what if, like, if the Earth Queen, if Zahir tried to Earth Queen somebody else, right? Like,
Oh,
if he tried to Earth Queen
could he
Korra and
teleport? Oh,
Aang,
dang it, yeah, I
would
hate
would
that.
Aang
Really
be able to resist
vaguely.
that better than Korra, just by comfortability level with his native element? Does chi vary by the element? I feel like there's too many unknowns
Hmm,
out there in the
interesting.
world for me to agree with you.
I hate that I am, a very genuine, honest person, and this happened in the last episode too. That I would give you some things to support your argument. One of which is that Korra is a healer, and part of at least part of Mon's ability to take away bending involves healing and the chi paths and people and things like that, closing certain paths off and whatnot. And Korra has some experience with that, so they might lend some credence to that. The
I
other
don't think
thing which
it's
I didn't
fair
speak
to
about,
say that, like, I do or don't believe it. I just feel like it's
yeah,
at least a considerable
yeah, sure,
facet.
yeah. Another thing that I didn't mention in our previous recording, make sure that things keep recording, um,
Still
is
good.
that you mentioned Zahir suffocating people, and he did do that to Korra. He was able to do it to Korra. Granted, Korra was suffering from poison, and so maybe that's not really even relevant because it's such like she was just in a huge battle while in the Avatar state, suffering from poison. I don't even think Aang would be able to do that, but I think you might be possibly right that they're like a powerful Bender and Aang, uh, specifically airbending, wouldn't be able to be suffocated like that because he would be bending the air within that person. He was essentially taking the air out of the lungs of the Earth Queen, and so that would be essentially the same as blood bending.
If you it again,
So
I don't know for sure, but I just feel like if you ask me in a nutshell, like, hey, Zahir is gonna Earth Queen Korra and Aang in a vacuum, who's more likely to escape that with to escape it defensively, I guess. I don't know how to word that. To evade his onslaught. It'd be like, ah, Aang would just make more sense at face value, but that is without
Yeah.
further valid data points.
Yeah, true. Although Katara was able to, so Katara probably has more chi than Hama does. 'Cause she was able to withstand ripple bending. Granted, Hama was a very old elderly
That yeah,
lady.
that I do believe. Also in like a spiritualism and fiery passion sense, I feel like Katara,
Yeah,
those are things that if
yeah,
she understands how to channel,
yeah. So they talk about chi fields, which I think is interesting. Um, Other kind of random things they mentioned that I found interesting. They talked about 1 second. Holy crap! Oh my gosh! Did you hear that? That was my stomach growling.
no, I didn't. Not
Maybe
that
you didn't
time.
hear
I
it that
heard one
time.
earlier.
Oh boy. Whew.
Time
That
for
was
some ice
a
cream.
longer one. It is time for discrimination today. Um, oh, they talked about revealing Ozai's face. They're and funny because they were like, yeah, it didn't really hit the way we wanted it to hit. Like I forget how they kind of wanted it to be. Um, but I liked how they revealed Ozai's face because it
I've
was very
never
much
given
like,
it much of a second thought. Like, is a big bad reveal is good. I,
yeah. Well, I like that when you see Ozai for the first time, it's like, oh, this it's a normal, like when you're envisioning the Fire Lord throughout the first 2 seasons, always a shadowy figure. He just sounds evil. And then the first time you see him, he just looks like a normal, like even handsome man with a fairly soft voice. Um, because he's just playing it that way in the thing. It's interesting. By the end of it, though, by the end of the series, after Aang defeats him, he's way more disheveled and way more. What do you say, monstrous? He's just way more disheveled. Yeah, way more disheveled.
I
Uh,
at least I've never given
yeah.
it a second thought, but maybe that's part of the miss is that it's not really that specific reveal. Is not something that sticks with me. That could be part of
Oh, it
what
sticks
I
to
feel
me
they're missing.
definitely. Like I remember seeing it for the first time and thought, oh my gosh, that's how he looks. Like we've been, and it's so weird that he just looks, fairly normal.
I think it was nice as a younger person to have a bad guy that didn't look so blatantly bad or that didn't equate like he wasn't like villainously ugly. I don't know how to describe that, but if without the
Yeah.
context of knowing that fire is bad, you just look at that guy and be like, yeah, it's just a ripped dad right there. Chris, what else did they cover? What other
Oh man, I want to say they cover more stuff. There was something they said. I wish I could remember, but then at that point in time, I didn't think we'll record a podcast about it, so I didn't
also,
write it
it's pretty
down.
early in the morning, so even if you remembered it yesterday, it is
It
now
is
today.
1:20 Central Time. But yeah, I think that's it.
Um, excellent. We thanks for bearing with us. Next week we're going to have on our guest, and we're going to talk about Avatar as an anime. So I'm really looking forward to that, Chris. That should be a fun time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, come back for that. If you're in the parts of the Midwest where the weather's horrible, or anywhere where the weather's horrible, hope you're staying warm and safe. Because I hate it.
Wait, can you hear me, Shawn?
Just barely. You got a lot quieter.
Yeah, my headphones died
It's
on me.
even your
Um,
headphones are trying to go to bed now.
I know, right?
But
Okay.
hey, yeah, thank you for watching, listening. Any
You can hear me
amount of
now.
any amount of
I
thumbs
got
up. What's that, Chris?
I got 2 new pops today, and I'm very excited for them. They look really clean. Let me talk about this. I'm about to let them open it. So this is the Opera Armor Pop, and I really, yeah.
You first of all, that's a great anime. That's a great anime episode teaser right there. That's
Uh,
fantastic. Second of all, I just want you to know you're way more muffled. I don't know if your headphones are working or not.
they're not as good as the
Okay.
other headphones, I don't
Okay.
think. And then I got the Momo. So it's
Awesome.
Nightmares and Daydreams
Yeah, Chris, that's a great
stuff.
teaser into next week's episode. That's beautiful. What a weird, funny episode. That in and of itself doesn't exactly resemble anime, it just references it. Don't confuse what we're saying. Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, Momo one was good too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, thanks everybody for
Anyway,
watching and listening. We appreciate you. Any amount of positive, likes, thumbs ups, comments, whatever you're willing to leave us, we appreciate it. If you stand up for us against reviewers who we feel were incorrect in their assessments, that makes us want to cry with tears of happiness. That's a little next week reference for you there. And my name's Shawn. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. And we've had volume on the entire time at work this time, Chris. That's great. We'll see you next time.
I'm hungry, but it's 1:23.
Yep, time for that midnight snack. My wife is still up quilting, man.